Welcome to Marveled Media Podcast, where we talk about all things media, especially Marvel. I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-host Alex.
And welcome to episode 3 of Gold or Fold, where Blake and I rank movies from worst to best, each having our own separate list. But today's video, we'll be naming our top 10 movies of all time. So, really, all these movies would fall under gold in our opinion. But with that said, I'll let Blake go first, naming his 10th movie of all time.
Real quick, just a preface: these are not the top 10 best movies we've ever seen in terms of like the writing, the acting, the directing, that stuff. These are our top 10 favorite movies. Some of these movies might be kind of bad, but for some reason they're just one for us that it's a top movie. So, like you said, I'll go first here. My number 10 movie is Batman Dark Knight. I love this movie. I think, in terms of comic book material and just a comic movie, I think this is one of the best ones, even though it comes from DC. And that's my number 10.
Interesting. That is super interesting that you have it this well. I guess low. It wouldn't really be like uh fair to it because it's still your top 10, but to have it at 10,
Listen,
really?
I love this movie. Let's get one thing straight. Anything on these lists, we love them. But I think there's some movies that, for whether it's enjoyment or whatever, I like better. I will say, in terms of live action villains, there has been some just awful takes as of late after No Way Home of people putting Green Goblin as better than Heath Ledger's Joker. If you're saying that, it's just recency bias. Heath Ledger's Joker is, live action wise, the greatest villain. Well, I guess you could say, well, Thanos is still live action. Thanos is the greatest live action villain of all time. If you have an issue with it, fight me. It's over. But
Damn, really?
I think Heath Ledger is number two, and I love this movie. I think Christian Bale was phenomenal as Batman in that time. Um, Christopher Nolan directing it, so you get that aspect of it, which obviously that's all good. But yeah, that's my number 10 movie.
I'm still shocked that's your number 10.
Hey, bro, there's some
Okay.
heavy hitters out there.
There are some heavy hitters. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And I think
Well,
we'll also preface this real quick. Alex and I have done very strict no talking about these lists. So it's all going to be genuine reactions from the other one. We talked a little bit about, he's named a couple movies that almost made the cut, but in terms of what's on it, we have no knowledge of what's on it or order. I mean, we have a bit of an idea of what's going to be on it just because we know each other, obviously. So I can probably list two or three movies I'm sure will show up on his list. But me and him, these are all genuine. We have no idea the order or what's on them. So I'll let you take it away with your number 10.
okay. Well, since you came at me with that at number 10, I will then come at you with my number 10 being Spider Man Into the Spider Verse, the animated movie, and the one and only animated movie that I have on here.
There's
I
a good
will
reason for
forever
that.
say, I will forever say that this movie is probably the best written animated movie in at least the last 25 years.
I mean,
The only thing that comes genuinely
hot take.
close is The Lion King. And I'm not talking about the live action one. I'm talking about like the animated one.
That's a bit of a hot take.
Listen, it's so good, and the ending is perfect. It just shows the growth of Miles, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm still trying to get Blake to watch it, even though he's not too, you know, he doesn't like animated movies like that, or I guess he just doesn't like relate to them that much. Um, but man, this movie, like, oh my god, I don't know. This just feels like the overall best in terms of the animated Spider-Man. This takes the cake to me. Overall, the voice cast too, oh, perfect.
Now, obviously,
And
I can't say too much, as he said. I haven't seen it. I'd also
yeah,
just like to comment for all those people who say animated stuff is so good. We're listing our top 10, 20 total movies between the two of us. That's the only animated one.
yeah,
Facts don't lie. animated stuff sucks. Moving on.
Okay, we don't gotta say that.
Well, let's do a snake. Let's do a snake style. You go with your number 9.
Oh, so we're just gonna improv this now, huh?
Yeah, that's what this show is.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well then, in that case, I will then come back to back with Super Bad.
Wow.
Yes, Super Bad. Super Bad, directed by Greg Malata. It made in 2007. Stars Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, and then I can't remember the last one's name. Here, let me look it up real
McLovin.
fast. Yeah,
That's all
McLovin.
you gotta
Yeah,
say.
pretty
That's all you
much.
gotta say.
He's McLovin. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't find it. But either way, that movie goaded. It was I don't know. It's funny. It's not too long. It's not too bloated. It's perfect. The cast is perfect in the roles, even though they were supposed to kind of depict high school. Honestly, to me, it feels like the most high school accurate movie. It has that like raunchiness to it. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like it embodies the high school experience the closest out of any like Hollywood movie that has ever been made.
I would stand
Honestly,
by that. That's pretty accurate, I would say.
yeah. But yeah, it had everything. So that is my number 9.
Wow.
Not too much else to really add to it.
That was
But yeah.
surprising to me because I have never. I mean, there's going to be some movies on here we've never talked about, but like
Hmm.
I don't know, that's just one we've never talked about. That came out of nowhere. I mean, I like that pick. It makes sense, and I definitely agree that it's probably one of the top accurate portrayals of high schoolers. Not, I mean, looks wise, still it has a bit of Hollywood of the actors are obviously out of high school, so they look a little older, but I would say that's a pretty fair take that it's one of the most accurate high school portrayals. That's a pretty fair
Right.
take.
It's just fucking hilarious, dude.
That's
It's
facts.
it's it's
That's
funny,
true.
dude.
I mean, people who haven't seen that probably know about McLovin.
Yes. It like by now it's been almost what 14
14 years,
years,
somewhere in
13
there.
years. Yeah. It's still talked about, like maybe not in like the cultural impact that like Marvel movies have had, but
Right.
it still has that impact on the culture to this day.
I
Like
definitely
everybody
agree.
knows McLovin is.
True. I mean, that's a good point. That is a good movie.
Yeah, it is a
So
good movie.
I'll go with my number
What
9
is your
now.
number 9?
My number 9 is Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, coming out in 2015, I believe. I love
Interesting.
this
Okay.
movie. I think, in terms of boxing movies, this is one of the best boxing movies. I think it has amazing storyline. I mean, I'm not one who gets super emotional when it comes to movies, but when I first saw this movie, the first time seeing it, there was probably 2 or 3 scenes that I teared up in. I thought the acting was phenomenal. I thought it wasn't just some dumb boxing movie like without any good storyline. I think outside of the ring, it all was very engaging and made sense. And I thought the action inside the boxing ring was really good. Just overall, I really enjoy this movie, and I think, like I said, I think this is one of the best boxing movies that there's ever been.
Interesting. Okay. I did not see that coming. That Wow. Okay. Interesting. I see. I can't really say too much to it because that I don't remember seeing that movie. I remember seeing like the trailers for it and like the previews for it, but I don't remember ever actually seeing the movie. In terms of boxing movies, really the ones that I've watched, probably just the Rocky movies and then the two Creed movies. In my recent memory, those are the ones that I have watched. But Southpaw definitely is not one that I have watched myself. But I mean, I might give it a try.
I like it. It's
I
one of
mean,
my
shit. I
favorite.
mean, you tear up a little bit or like
Not
choke
straight up.
up.
There's when I first saw it, and even if I've since I've watched it back, there's one
Hmm.
moment that it gets me almost every time. It without fail. That moment comes on. There's going to be a little something. I'm feeling it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, then I might have to watch it then.
Nah, it's good. So then I'll go with my number 8 now. This one is, I wouldn't say shocking, but I think because of what this show is, for this to be as low as it is and to be my final comic book movie, I think is a bit surprising. Avengers Infinity War at number 8.
What? What? 8?
Number 8.
You have it at 8?
There is two comic book movies in my list. 8 and 10.
What the fuck? That's interesting. Well, explain yourself, man.
I mean, is there really much to explain? I think it's very clear that the post end of the movie feeling is unlike any movie I've ever seen. I think everybody can relate. When that movie ended in the theaters, everybody was just looking around like, did that just happen? Is that the end? I mean, and I understand it is low in some people's eyes, but I mean, it's just one of the best movie going experiences, I think. And honestly, Marvel probably has a top three because I think Infinity War, Endgame, and Spider Man No Way Home, in terms of theater feel, are the best.
Yeah, no doubt.
But to me, Infinity War is the best MCU movie of all time. And to be honest, I would be shocked if it ever gets topped in my eyes. Obviously, this is all our opinions. And there's probably some people who this isn't their top one or whatever. But in my eyes, this is the MCU movie.
Wow. I mean, I agree with you, dude. I agree that it's the top movie. So, I guess spoilers, since that was going to be a video for the future, for our top, or like our ranking of the MCU movies. We both have Infinity War at number 1.
Yep, absolutely.
So that that's no surprise there. I kind of figured that, but wow, to have it 8 on your all time,
Yeah.
that's insane. That is okay. That is crazy. Wow. Okay. Let me just. Okay. Well, in that case, I will go to my number 8, and my number 8 is a small movie called The Kingsman: The Secret Service. Came
Okay.
out in 2014,
Okay.
directed by Matthew Vaughn. He directed First Class, for the X-Men. Um, so he had like that like 2 or 3 year run, and it was, in terms of a spy movie. Now listen, I actually really liked, which one is that? I think that was, I think Casino Royale probably is like the close, like, if there was to put another spy movie close to this one, it would be Casino Royale. But nah, Kingsman: The Secret Service, it's fucking fire.
Well,
I
yeah.
I love this movie. The pacing is like, it kind of throws you in. It's like, oh shit, okay, so now we're like in this one scene, like, where they have to like defuse a bomb, and then this guy sacrifices himself, and then you see them unmask themselves, and they're all like a part of this agency, and you see like um the main spy. I forget his name. I think his name, in the movie, is Harry. Yeah, Harry, played by Colin Firth, uh, back when he was younger, and then it kind of brings us to present day, and then it kind of tells us the story of, um, the father who sacrificed himself was actually a friend, or I guess like the main character. His name is Eggsy. His father was the one that sacrificed himself to protect like the rest of the group there, when the bomb diffused itself, or when it blew up. Um,
A grenade,
and
but
that's
yeah,
just,
same thing.
yeah, a grenade. Yeah,
He
I
jumped
this is
on the
purely off
grenade.
memory. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a while, but I feel like I have to watch it again.
Oh, absolutely.
Sam Jackson in this movie. Say what you want about like his like list, but it I don't know. It just worked, dude.
I
It
agree.
fucking
I
works.
agree.
It's fucking good. Like when he like plays it off. I think he has like a phobia of like blood, so he
Yeah.
doesn't like it, but he still like, he fucking shot, Harry in the fucking face, and you thought he was dead, but I guess he didn't completely die. Um,
No, he died.
but no, he didn't. Oh, you haven't watched the second one?
No, I have.
Yeah, he just had he shot him through, I guess like a weird part in the brain that kind of like gave him amnesia. So he survived it because there was,
I don't remember the second one that
paramedics
well.
on site as soon as Sam Jackson left. They like saved him. They put like this
Hmm.
like weird shit in his head, and it kind of like saved him from dying. But Anyways, back to this movie. Um, that one scene alone in the church. Oh my god!
Insane.
I still remember watching it for the first time, and I think I watched it in theaters for the first time.
Nuts.
Um, was insane. I was just like, I felt like 7 minutes of like one shot, just straight on.
Yeah, no
I'm like
cuts, just going.
acceleration. I'm like, this is probably one of the best directed scenes in a movie in terms of like action in an enclosed area and just one shot. Like
Right.
that was pretty good.
I think the
And the
only thing that
music on
comes
top of that,
close. Oh, that's true. I forgot the music too. I think the
the
only thing that comes
music is
close
fire.
since then is the John
Freebird,
Wick series.
yeah,
The action scenes in
yeah,
those have been insane, but this was, I agree, this action scene and the music playing was just phenomenal.
yeah. It was perfect. I mean, the movie, like the whole like the villain, even like the sub villain. I guess her name was Giselle. Uh, she had like the weird like legs.
Yeah, her legs were like amputated and like they turned them into like weapons. Just
Yeah,
great
weapons
movie.
on
I agree.
like yeah, that was a good movie.
That's a good pick.
It was perfect. And then that ending, if you know, you know.
No. All right, we're moving
Yeah.
on. Go to your number 7.
All right, my number 7. Oh man, I love this movie. And a lot of people just like it for the ending, but I actually enjoy like I when I made this list, right, I felt like I had to include one of these movies, and I at the end of the day, I feel like this movie, it feels to me at least, is the most rewatchable. Like I just pop it in whenever, and that would be Rogue One, Star Wars story. That, oh my god, it like it was perfect, dude. Like it just jumps you in. Had Mads Mikkelsen in it, directed by Gareth Edwards. Like like the cast is insane. Diego Luna, Alan Tudyk, Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen's character is fire. He's fucking blind, and he still senses the force. He's just like chilling. He has that one fight scene. Oh, fucking fire! I love the movie. I can't say much about it. Like, yeah, it's so good. And then obviously, the ending where Darth Vader just shows up, lightsaber ignites, and he just yeets on everybody in that ship, and then that kind of transitions into um, the first ever Star Wars movie, that being A New Hope. But yeah, the action was there, the acting was great, the cinematography was fucking amazing, especially on that last planet before they all die. Oh, that shot of the whole thing starting to blow up, and then the two main characters just kneeling head to head, and you just see them fucking die. Of course, Blake's just nodding. Like I can see him. He's just nodding. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But like he's never watched this movie,
Nah,
even
what do
though
you
he
mean?
should. It's fucking good.
Good movie.
It
Solid
was
movie.
good. I love this movie. Yeah. I mean, obviously that Darth Vader scene at the end was the cherry
Insane.
on top. But stop it, stop it. This man hates Star Wars, so if you guys want to slam
That's
him in the
facts.
comments,
No,
go ahead.
I hate new Star Wars. Get it clear. I don't
Yeah, but I feel
mind
like
the
Rogue
OG.
One feels it honestly feels like old Star Wars to me.
I don't mind the OG 6. New Star Wars. Leave it alone.
Yeah, but Rogue One, ah, good.
All right. So my number 7. I had to do it. Is it one of the most basic? If you ask any guy what their top 10 is this going to make it? Absolutely. But I don't care. I had to do it. Wolf of Wall Street. Number 7. Don't care. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you ask a guy their top 10, you probably ask most guys top 5. They're going to name it. I don't care. I'll be that basic guy to say it. Wolf of Wall Street is great. Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. I mean, Jonah Hill, Martin Scorsese
Yeah,
directing it. I mean,
and then that one scene with
Matthew McConaughey, his like five
Matthew
minutes of
McConaughey.
screen
Yeah,
time, kills it.
yeah,
What's his name?
yeah,
John Berthol? Berthenol?
yeah,
He has him in there. He's, I mean,
yeah. It hey, and
is it basic?
this is one of the
But it's
movies
there.
that just missed my top 10, and I told Blake before recording this that this would have been like my 11th.
Right. I mean, I don't care. It's basic. It's a great movie. Is it
It
long?
is.
Sure. But It's something I easily will watch at least once a year, and I'll enjoy that watch every single time. Quotable,
Yeah,
just all around. I love it. Martin Scorsese directed a masterpiece as usual. Leonardo DiCaprio, fantastic, just great story, interesting. You know,
yeah, great
It's
story.
in
Yeah,
every guy's top 10.
watch it for the plot. Yeah,
I watch it
we'll
for the
watch it
plot.
for the plot.
I watch it for the
Yeah.
plot.
Hey, quick side note: I still remember like watching this for the first time, like on my phone at school, and then that opening scene. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't play this in school.
That's a bold move.
Well, I didn't know what to expect, and then all of a sudden, because everyone was like talking about it, I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. And then there goes me. I think this was like junior year or
No,
yeah,
this
sophomore
came
year.
out like
Sophomore year.
freshman year for us. I don't have the
Really?
exact. This
I
movie is
can't
like,
remember.
I know it probably was like 2014,
Maybe.
2013.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so we would have been like seventh, eighth grade-ish.
Yeah. Really? Was this not high school?
No,
I
this was
can't. Well,
2013.
I remember it was at school. I remember it was at school. So regardless, I'm watching this. I'm like, oh yeah, no. Like as exciting as this might be, I can't watch it here.
No,
The fuck?
I had that similar thing when it first came out. Like we didn't see it in theaters because like at that time I was too young. My parents wouldn't let me. So it came out to DVD and I wanted to see it because everyone talked about it. And I was like, "Can I
Hmm.
please watch it?" And my dad's like, "I'll watch it alone, and then after I watch it, I'll let you know if it's okay." I think he got like 20 minutes in, he turned it off. He's like, "I didn't like it. You're not seeing that movie." So naturally, like a week later, I went with my brother to a friend's house and watched it, and it's great. Love that movie.
Nice. Oh my god, yeah. Yep. That's a good list right there.
All
Okay.
right, so I'll move on to my number six. This is following on the same path of just the actors phenomenal, the cinematography, the directing, everything phenomenal. Grown Ups.
Grown
That's my
ups.
number six movie. Fantastic plot line.
What?
Just 10 out of 10
The
movie
plot.
from everything.
The plot.
Okay. Obviously, this is one of those ones. Most people are going to be like, why is this your number six movie of all time? Like, are you stupid? And I'll say, yeah, I am. Every now and then, you have to watch a dumb comedy and just laugh. And it's just stupid jokes.
It is.
And if I ever need that, I'm turning on Grown Ups. I think it's just a feel good, funny movie that I don't know. To me, this is like one of my favorite just comedies of all time for when you just want a stupid laugh. It's classic Adam Sandler, just bringing his best friends, their wives in real life or acting, their friends, actresses, their friends, and just they go rent a vacation house and they're like, let's just somehow film a movie. And that's what they do. And it's great. I respect everything about it.
Hey, listen, I can't hate on that one. That it is funny. It is funny. But no, I did not expect it to be up on your top
Number
10 of all
six.
time though.
Yep. Number
Number six.
six.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, shifting to a whole different side. So my number six would be Logan. That movie is, I mean, in terms of probably, yeah, I would say all of the X Men movies, other than maybe Days of Future Past, I feel like Logan is probably the best out of all those movies. Fox's best movie by far. Um, I guess Deadpool, but that I feel like in terms of movie making,
I would say
this is
Logan's
like,
better than Deadpool.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like it's two different kind of subgenres. Logan is just, whew, I still remember watching it for the first time in theaters. If you saw a vulnerable Logan, his healing isn't as good as it used to be. He's pretty much alone now with Caliban, um, who can't step out in the light or else he starts to like fucking die. And he's with Xavier, who now has like a disease in his brain, so
Yeah, almost
he's
like a
pretty
dementia
much,
type thing.
yeah, he's pretty much like a living weapon now because I mean that's why they're like isolated. The rest of the mutants are pretty much gone, and then all of a sudden here comes a genetic clone, or like, yeah, pretty much a genetic clone a daughter version of Logan, who shows up on his doorstep, and now they go on this, road trip across pretty much entire United States, from like Texas all the way up to Canada. And yeah, it's heartfelt. If I had to say, like, this would be probably one of the movies where I felt like I started kind of like choking up, especially towards the end. Um, Definitely did not see that death by X-24 when he killed Xavier. Xavier was like talking to him, and he thought it was Logan the whole time. Then you see him put his hand on his chest. All of a sudden, you hear the claws
Come
come
out.
out. It's like, dude, I remember I was just shocked. I was like, what the fuck? It's crazy. And then, oh my god, dude, Hugh Jackman killed that shit. Holy shit. His acting was probably the best in terms of Logan. And I think up to this point he played the character for like 20 years,
Right.
and his best performance by far. Um, I mean, he played like himself, and he played the younger version that's like pretty much has no. He's pretty much just a fucking animal
Right.
at
He's
this
just a
point.
motionless killing machine.
Exactly, and I mean, I yeah, and then that at the end when his daughter buries him, dude. And then she like flips it over, and she starts to like just to cry. Like, damn, dude. I feel like every time I watch it, and I don't watch it a lot for that reason, but I still, you know, respect what that film did, and for that reason alone, I regard it as like a very high movie. So yeah, that's my number six, and that would make it my second comic book movie. Even though I feel like this feels more like a western kind of movie with that happens to have comic book characters in it, so it
Oh
doesn't
yeah, I
feel
would
like a
agree.
comic book
I
movie.
would agree. I think
So
you could easily watch this movie and I mean, I don't know if you could jump right into it and it would have that impact, but I think you could turn Logan on for someone who hasn't seen like any of X-Men with him and
mhm.
you still would feel it. Like this is
Oh yeah, I
it
mean,
definitely was.
for sure. I mean, at its core, it's a story about a dude that has had a really long history, because obviously he has this regenerative ability where he can't die. So he's lived a long, long time. So he's lived through some shit. He's lived through a bunch of wars, bunch of betrayals, a bunch of everything. So he's gone through everything. All he has left is pretty much his only living father figure now. And then he gets the redemptive arc with his kind of
Quote unquote daughter.
biological daughter, yeah, and you just see him grow. And I don't know, I feel like it was a nice end to the character. Probably the best ending to a character we've seen, other than maybe Tony Stark. But Tony Stark had like a whole plethora of movies and references and all that stuff, and then Logan kind of just he had the X movies, and then like two
A couple
kind
solo.
of meh solo movies. Well, the one in Japan is kind of cool, but the first one, oh my god, was it like X Men Origins?
No,
That one's a rough one.
I thought X-Men Origins was the one of him in Japan.
No,
No,
X Men Origins
that's
is the one where
yeah,
he
you're right.
fights Sabretooth. But yeah, I know that. Yeah, by far best X Men movie, I guess, if I had to say.
I would agree. I mean, that is a phenomenal movie all around. Just that's a good pick. And then I'll let you get us started into our top five.
Oh shit. Okay, top five already. Okay, well, all right. So I had to throw something else in here, and I have a deep appreciation for, believe it or not, for horror movies. I don't really talk about them too much around Blake or any of my friends, but I actually like them. And then I have the one movie on here, one horror movie, and no, it's not Halloween Kills.
Okay, I was about to say, hey, get up.
Okay, it is A Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors. That movie, fucking good. I love that movie. like if it was before Freddy Krueger became kind of like a jokey character, it has like that like kind of raunchiness to it. The kills were the best kills out of pretty much any slasher movie. Really, I can't really name another one that would come close other than maybe mm, I'm gonna say night. No, not even Nightmare. I would say probably Friday 13th part 3 or 4. I can't remember which one had the better kills, but either way, best kills. The characters all having like these people, these like I forget how many people there are. It was just like these kids, these teens who have like these nightmares, but they also have like these kind of like powers, and then they're all sent to this fucking psychiatric hospital, and their whole thing is that they can't fall asleep or else they're gonna get fucking killed. Um, and you see that struggle throughout the whole movie where they're like trying to keep like stay awake or they like wake each other up. They take these pills so that it keeps them awake until finally one of them cracks, and then all shit gets thrown out the window. Literally, like one of them fucking jumps out the fucking window because I mean to everybody else it looks like he's like walking off, like straight up walking, jumps off a window and dies. But like in the dream, you see fucking Freddy Krueger like using him as a puppet and walking him to his death. I'm like, dude, that's fucked up. But it was great. I love the movie. Freddy Krueger was menacing at the same time. He like the jokes he cracked was fucking funny as shit. I just love this movie. It was like what? How long is it? 96 minutes. So it's not that long. It's about an hour and a half of just
Right.
get to the point. It was great. I would say my favorite horror movie for sure, and that's the only one I have on here.
I mean, that's interesting to
So
me because, like you said, we don't talk horror movies too much. So that is interesting that that's up there. And the fact you put it over Halloween Kills is a bit insane to me if we're talking about greatest horror movies, but I'll let it slide.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
definitely.
So, my number five movie, Straight Outta Compton. I absolutely love it. This is the story of NWA, um, you know, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Easy E, and then MC Ren and them, but mainly those three are the iconic NWA. I thought the acting in this movie is really good. I think they did a good job of finding people who looked similar, and they did a really good job acting. I mean, obviously for Ice Cube, it wasn't too hard. They used his son, who you know surprisingly looks a lot like his dad, so that wasn't too hard. But just because he's his son doesn't mean you know. I think Ice Cube in interviews said like we could find somebody who looks close enough to replace you. Like it wasn't just given to him because they look similar. He did. I mean, ever since then, O'Shea Jackson Jr. He's done plenty of movies on his own, not just that movie. And he sort of
Yeah, I
made
think he
a
was in a Godzilla movie.
yeah. He was in that one. He was in Den of Thieves, some other ones. But he's made a name for himself acting wise. Besides that, and overall, I think the story was really interesting. I thought, like I said, the acting was really good. I think they did a good job of not making it too theatrical, I guess I would say, in a sense of a lot of times when we get these stories like this, they play up certain things that either didn't happen or exaggerate them. Like one of the big examples of this is Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a good movie, but there's a lot of exaggerated, made up things for the movie. I think Straight Outta Compton was pretty accurate. They had Dr. Dre and Ice Cube both had a pretty big say in the actual directing and everything. Like I know Ice Cube was on set a lot. He almost was a partial director in this movie. And I just think overall the story's good, the acting's good, the cinematography is really good. I enjoy this movie. Again, it is a longer movie. I think it probably comes in at like 240, 245, something around there. I wouldn't be surprised to hear, but overall, I truly enjoy it.
That's nice. I didn't know that they liked this movie that much. I mean, I think I saw it one time back when it came out, but I can't remember too much of it. I just remember like a few scenes here and there. But that's cool. Okay,
Yeah,
that
there's
I didn't see. I mean, I'm still stumped that you have. If I have this right, you have Wolf of Wall Street, Grown Up, Straight Out Compton,
correct.
above Infinity War.
Correct. And oh yeah, 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 yeah. That is correct. Listen,
Wow. And the Dark Knight. Oh my god, what the hell?
Dark Knight's not
Okay.
above Infinity War.
No, no, no. I mean, like you have all those movies
Oh,
above Infinity War and Dark Knight,
oh, okay. Now I
like
get what
those
you mean.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't buy movies often. I don't like the actual physical copies.
Uh
But
huh.
of my top six, I have all but one, and that's about the only. I probably own about five movies. My top
Wow.
six, I own all but one because
Wow.
if it's rare that I buy a movie, I have to really love it, and Straight Outta Compton's one of them. I do own that one. I've watched it several times. I think it's a great movie.
Okay. All right then. Well, then do you want to say your number four,
Oh
or
yeah, I'll
do
go
I
to my
go
number
with my number
four.
four?
My number four is actually the only one I don't own. Surprisingly, I don't know why. I love this movie. Let me just say, I think 2019 had some phenomenal movies. Some of them I would even call gems, if you get it. Hint, hint. Funny pun. Number four,
Uh
Uncut
huh.
Gems with Adam Sandler. He makes another appearance.
Dad a sailor, dude.
Bro, guy makes gold. Can't hate on him. Um, Uncut Gems. I mean, obviously this is a completely different Adam Sandler that we have never seen before, and I think he killed it. I think the pacing of this movie is intriguing. I remember the first time I saw this, there's probably three or four scenes that I personally felt like my heart racing and I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, what is he doing? What is going on? I think it's just overall, I think Uncut Gems is a phenomenal movie. And I think the story is super interesting. Like I said, Adam Sandler kills it along with everybody else in that movie. Even Kevin Garnett did a really good job
Yeah,
acting, I
KG's in
thought.
there. Yeah, yeah.
This
He
was
plays like like a slightly exaggerated version of himself.
right.
But he said it was like slightly. I'm like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure it's pretty close, but it introduced me to easily one of my favorite actors currently, Lakeith Stanfield. I think he's phenomenal. This was the first time I saw him, and as soon as I saw him after the movie, I looked up who all was in this, and since then I've been a huge fan of him. Um, yeah, I truly enjoy this movie. I think it has a different feel than a lot of other movies, just because it is so dramatic and interesting, and it just kind of pulls you in. To me, I feel like it was just a really good movie.
I agree. Not everything ends happy, dude.
I think it
He
was a
does
fitting
indeed
ending.
die.
It was a very fitting
Yeah,
ending for the movie. I think,
yeah. I
like,
mean, it definitely fit the tone of the movie.
all in all, just a great job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I've also seen this one. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely weird to see Adam Sandler doing something else other than comedy, but I mean, he actually killed it. I don't know what came out. What 2018?
No,
I want to
2019.
say
2019.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, 2019. Okay, interesting. Hmm. All right then. I didn't see you putting that one up that high, but wow. Okay. All right then. I guess I'll go into my number four. My number four. Oh man, I love this movie. I watch it at least like twice a year. It is Mad Max Fury Road. I love this movie.
Wow.
This movie is like the oh my god, like talk about like I remember seeing this once. I saw it in theaters and then I went to go see it two more times because I was like I loved the exhilaration of like oh shit now we're gonna go on this fucking journey here and then they're like fighting. There's a guy playing a fucking guitar when he's like spitting fire. I'm like, what the hell? It was it captured the essence of like a fucking action movie, like from start to finish. It was fucking like an action movie. You get that like brief introduction to Max, where I think it picks up after the last movie. He has like long hair, and then he's pretty much on his own and then they like capture him. He escapes briefly and they capture him again, and then you start to like be introduced into like the actual like world, like where it is now. And I mean the visuals was fucking insane. George Miller like directing the shit out of this. And then I remember watching like um the BTS videos like of like how they actually made the movie. And to my surprise, they almost didn't use CG. Like they used like maybe like kind of like a few layers of it to kind of like make it all blend together, but a lot of that shit was practical, which is crazy to me. Like that
Yeah,
was
wow.
insane.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, seriously, like it was great. They kind of used the CG to kind of like enhance the movie, not kind of just like take it over. Um, but from start to finish, dude, this movie is great. I loved it. I know a lot of people didn't like how it kind of felt like it was like a big fucking U, like where you just start somewhere, you kind of go to that promised land. It turns out that it wasn't real, or it was it was just a lie. They come back where they started, essentially. But I mean, I felt like they learned a lot through that journey, and that alone, like the actual ride from escaping to this promised land and being told that there was something out there and finding out that where it actually was right where they were, which was probably like that scene where she finds out Furiosa, when she finds out, because I think that's where she grew up. Like she kind of had like vague memories of it, and when she finds out that it no longer exists, and she like falls to her knees and she's like fuck, and you kind of feel bad because it's like they did all this, they could fucking die for it,
For nothing.
and there's nothing there. Yeah. um but I mean the action was fucking amazing. It came out in 2015 too, so it was kind of recent, and the movie itself is not that long. It's like 120 minutes, so it's not too long, just above 2 hours. So I feel like overall probably my favorite action movie that's not like a comic book movie.
I see
That's
that.
just
I could
my
see that.
thoughts.
I mean, kind of disrespecting John Wick and Keanu Reeves, but it is what it is. We'll move on.
Yeah, but I don't know. It has a special place in my heart. I just love like that,
Oh,
like the whole like because it like okay, obviously John Wick when it comes to like the choreography of like hand to hand combat and or like
just
gun
insane.
fu,
Nuts.
yeah, it's insane. It's fucking masterpiece.
Goaded.
But like these people are driving and they're leaping from cars like from fucking vehicle to vehicle, throwing these fucking stakes that have like kind of like napalm attached, and you just like throw it to like the back of the car because I think a lot of them have like the engine on the back, which I don't know why they would do that, but and then they just fucking explode. They're doing everything in this movie. Like I said, there's a fucking guy like playing a guitar.
Spitting
Like
with
that's his
fire.
job. That's his job.
That's
It's
like the
like
Revolutionary War where we had people playing flutes and drums. That's going on,
yeah,
but in the middle
yeah.
of like a
They're
death
like
race.
yeah, death race. Play some tunes. Oh yeah, that is my number four.
Now, if
Um,
we want to talk about special place in our hearts, we can get to my number three. 21 Jump Street. Number three.
yeah, I,
I
I I figured.
I love this movie. I mean, there's not much I can say. This is kind of like a grown-ups one to me. It's just a comedy that has a special place. I mean, Channing Tatum. I think this was like his first like comedy movie, really. I think at this point he was pretty
Hmm.
much just all I mean, rom-coms, but he was just, the dumb, good-looking, guy in the movies. And I mean, it's not like this one is a huge difference. It's not like there's a whole lot of depth to it, but it's just it's
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a funny movie.
it is.
Jonah Hill once again is just hilarious in it. I mean, everything about this movie to me is just funny. There's good pacing, I feel like. I mean, it's not you know, like I said, the plot here isn't the greatest thing in the world, but I think it's good enough and it's funny enough that you can watch this movie no matter how many times. I mean, this probably might be the movie I've seen the most in my life. It's close. It's got to be close. It's either this or Adam Sandler's Longest Yard. One of those two.
That movie was also pretty
I
fire.
had a long streak with that movie where I'd watch it like every single day in summer. Like it was insane. But 21 Jump Street, I've seen, I can't even count how many times I will laugh at least 3 times out loud, no matter how many times I watch it. I
Hmm.
mean, the scene where Channing Tatum is at the whiteboard going ham writing equations and all this stuff you think. And he's reading out equations in his head. and he just turns around and all he wrote on the board was seven a bunch of times. And it's just like, fuck you, science. It's just so funny to me every time. I love that scene. I think 21 Jump Street is it one of the greatest movies of all time in terms of acting, story, cinematography? No. But it's my top three movie. I love it. I always enjoy it.
Hey, I respect it, man. I respect it, and that would be the third appearance of Jonah Hill in both of our lists because he was in Wolf of Wall Street for you, and he was in Superbad for me, and now he's back again in your top three for 21 Jump Street. So damn, shout out Jonah Hill.
Shout out Jonah.
Okay, well, this is another one that has a special place in my heart, and this one I truly because this one I grew up with, and I remember watching it a lot to the point where literally the disc is scratched, so the original DVD is no longer playable. I'm serious.
This is going to be Rambo
This would
Last
be.
Blood. We all know.
Mm, I think Rambo Last Blood came out like a year ago, but anyways, my number three is Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
Fucking
Okay.
love that movie.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, Spider-Man 2. Um, I don't know. It's like looking, and this is probably why I really I really really liked No Way Home, and I've seen it twice now. Just the callbacks in that movie, and you know,
Are nuts. Yeah, I've recently watched. I saw it for the second time. There's just so much more. We could make a whole new video. Like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I mean, Toby almost wasn't gonna come back. I guess he had like a a back issue. Literally, like in real life, he had a back issue, and they actually wrote it into the movie, and it became one of the most iconic things of all time to the point where they referenced it again in No Way Home. Fucking love it. Um, I mean, there's so many memes of this movie, but I fucking love this movie. Doc Ock as a villain. I don't because I think he honestly the way I have my list made, I think he would be like definitely top five villain overall, like comic villain. He would be top five for me.
I could see
I
top five.
overall,
I'll give him top five.
yeah,
Top
top
three?
five.
No. Top
No,
five,
no,
I'll
no,
give him
top
top
five,
five.
top five. That's why I was like, no, top five. Because recently Green Goblin. I mean, fuck, Willem Dafoe. Holy shit. But that's a whole
Let's
different
hold
story
down. He's
for
still behind
another
Heath
day.
Ledger's Joker and Thanos.
Yeah, no, for sure, no doubt. Um, but Doc Ock,
Jared Leto's
fucking
Joker. Probably number three.
okay. Anyways, Alfred Molina, fucking great, perfect casting, and there was no wonder why Kevin Feige wanted him back. If they were gonna go, I think, and he said this straight up in an interview. If he were to bring back Doc Ock, he wanted Alfred Molina, and I don't blame him because Alfred Molina was fucking great. That one scene, um, like as soon as that inhibitor chip, that thing like fucking explodes because the um I forget what it's called, but that thing kind of goes out of control, and then his wife is like telling him to stop. The fucking glass shatters, and you just see that like glass like literally hit her. I'm like, holy shit, this is like this will be like, I mean, I don't know, it's not a kids movie, but still, it's like okay, she's gone. She died with literally glass piercing her. He
Facts.
sees that. He's like, he starts to like, he doesn't even have time to like react because then all of a sudden he starts to get fucking electrocuted and then he kind of like passes out. And the next scene after that, dude, holy shit. They're like about to cut off
The
his
tentacles,
tentacles and
arms.
they just go fucking crazy. A lady is like like her nails or she's like grasping her for her life and the floor is not like just like any kind of floor. It's literally like it felt like fucking metal floor. You can see those nails like fucking claw at it. It was insane. That fucking scene, I remember I was so fascinated by. I fucking love that scene.
Hey,
Um,
I have a fun fact with this movie. A little known fact. This movie came out in what, like 2008?
4, 2004.
was 4.
Yeah, it's 2004. I remember
Wow.
because I remember watching it as a kid, literally, and I was so excited for Spider-Man 3. And
When I saw
yeah,
this movie, I saw it in theaters. Okay. I was
you
so
remember that?
scared. Yeah. I was so scared. I left the theater crying. Like, left, walked out of the theater. We were on vacation up in Wisconsin. My dad came out of the theater. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm scared." And he's like, "Okay, there's a bench here. You sit here and come back in when you're ready. And I'm going to go back in and finish this movie." I didn't come back in. I
Oh my
sat on
god!
that bench for over an hour, scared out of my mind. Didn't go back in. True
Wow,
story.
wow. I mean, well, I guess you would be like
I was
four
like
or
5 years
something, or
old when it came
five.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 4 or 5. That was crazy.
Yep. Didn't go back
Damn,
in.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Huh?
Little known fact. True story.
Wow, cool. Wow, yeah, I didn't know that about you. But yeah, no, I mean this movie, and then obviously like the whole train sequence, um, definitely up until No Way Home, probably felt like the best Spider-Man action scene there. Um, it was great. It's from start to finish. I mean, it all started with Doc Ock throwing a fucking car through a diner or like a cafe. Toby like grabs MJ and like fucking
Spidey
dodges that shit
senses
like,
dodges it.
yeah, he fucking dodges that shit like a goat. And then at that point he didn't even get like all his powers back yet. Doc Ock smashes him into like everything into debris, comes back. Mind you, he's not Spider-Man like for I want to say like 20ish 30 minutes of the movie, like probably in the middle of the movie. He comes back,
Had a web
and
blog.
that shot where like Doc Ock, like you just see his glasses, and you see Spider-Man swinging in his reflection, and then it kind of like pans out. That's like the best start to a fight. And like boom, I love that movie so much. It's like childhood, dude. And I
Childhood.
seriously, I don't even think I have like the DVD anymore because it was literally unwatchable. I've then bought like a Blu-ray version of it, so I still have a copy. Um, but yeah, no, that movie, that DVD definitely has seen better days. Oh
Wow.
man,
I didn't know that Spider-Man 2 was that big.
dude, yeah, dude, it was. I wonder if I still have it. I literally I remember I asked my mom for like Spider-Man stuff for the longest time. I think so I was like maybe like 2 or 3 years after that came out. I had this fucking big plushie of the Spider-Man 2, like Spider-Man, like his Spider-Man 2 look. He was like this fucking big. I want to say maybe like 3 feet tall, but it
Damn.
was like soft. Yeah, yeah. I fucking love that movie.
Wow, Spider-Man 2. Now, what was your
Yeah.
thoughts when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out and just topped that as the best second Spider-Man movie of all time?
Why are you the way that you are?
No, no, not even
All right,
fucking
moving
close.
on. Moving on to my number
Not
2.
even fucking close.
My number
All
2
right, I'm,
movie.
I'm, I'm curious. What is your two?
It's making an appearance from your list.
Oh,
Kingsman Secret Service.
oh, let's go. I didn't know you had it that high though,
I
but
love
that's
that
pretty
movie.
cool.
Obviously, I won't go too much into depth because we talked about it a bunch when it came up for Alex's. All that I'll say with it, the church scene. End of story. The church scene.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah, it is. It is a pretty good movie. Well, with that said, my number two is making an appearance from your list, which just so happened to be your number 10. I have The Dark Knight at number two. All I have to
Wow.
say, Heath Ledger's performance was
Wow.
insane. I still remember seeing it in theaters. I remember there was this whole thing with the shooting in Colorado.
Yep.
Or yeah, and I think yeah, that's the one shooting in Colorado. I think, or was it for Dark Knight Rises?
No, it was for this
But I
Dark Knight.
remember there was also this like this thing going on, and I remember like being kind of like, oh shit, like hopefully that doesn't fucking happen to me. But once I got into the theater and I started watching that movie, mind you, I was like 8. Yeah, I was 8 years old because it
Right.
came out in 2008. Heath Ledger, up until Thanos, was the best performance of a villain of all time,
Easily.
hands down.
Easily.
Of the 2000s and back, like you could literally go to the beginning of fucking time, from before the 2010s. He's the best performance of a villain of all time.
100%. Heath Ledger was phenomenal.
I fucking love that movie.
I mean,
Almost to the point where he almost overshadowed Batman for me. I mean, he pretty much overshadowed Batman for me. But I didn't care because that fucking movie was literally built for him. It was the opening scene, dude. And even on like the Blu-ray or DVD copy of it, it's shot on IMAX cameras.
oh, really?
So it's literally, it takes up the whole fucking screen. Yeah, because I watch it. Um, at least like twice a year, probably once or twice a year. I haven't watched as much in the most like in the last 2 years, but before then, dude, I sometimes I I remember I would literally just pop in that movie for like the opening scene because I'm like, dude, that fucking opening scene was
Insane.
amazing.
I mean,
Like
just
it's like
the
dun, and then
movie
it
is
just like
start. Oh my
pans.
god, dude.
It like you just see like it's like a helicopter shot far out, and it like
So
gets
good.
closer and closer to the building. All of a sudden, boom! It like the window then like shatters, and then the whole heist starts, and it culminates with him like well, forget what he actually says, like, oh, what doesn't kill you only makes you stranger, and he like reveals himself like,
Oh my god.
dude, and the score of this movie, the way it was shot, Heath Ledger's performance, the how quotable this movie is
Bro,
to
I'm be
this
honest.
day.
I'm be honest. 10 was too low on my list.
That's thank
10
you,
was too low on my
thank
list.
you.
You're
Yes,
right. You're right. You're 100% right. 10 is too low.
that's why I was so shocked because
Dude,
I was like, okay, I know for a fact that Blake was gonna have the Dark Knight up on here. I didn't expect you to have it at 10 though.
too low.
Like
It was
right
too
off the
low.
bat, I was shocked.
That's on me.
But yeah, but I mean the score, how quotable it is. I can just pop it in, just watch it. It's surprisingly funny too at certain moments.
I would say so.
Um,
Joker. Dude, he has some just moments that are so funny.
every time he comes on screen,
There's
dude, holy
something
shit!
something
The
happening that's
interrogation
worth it.
scene, yeah, the interrogation scene, the putting the guy's face
The
through a
magic
pencil
trick, yeah,
scene,
the
yeah, the
pencil
magic trick scene,
disappear.
yeah. I think he like he's such a fucking savage, dude. He literally sat down. He literally sat down in a room of all the biggest crime bosses in Gotham. Pretty much just strolled up in there, talked shit to them, talked shit to one of the bigger ones across like on a TV. Told him that his balls dropped off, and then just like dipped. He's like,
And said, not
"Yeah,
only
I
that, he
I,
then
I want
said,
half of the
"You're
money."
going to give me half of the money.
Yeah, yeah.
Half of it from everybody."
What a fucking savage.
And he got
Fucking
it.
love him. Yes, because then he's like, and then everyone's like, "You're joking, right?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Dude, fucking love him. I love
Dude,
that movie."
I mean, that movie is. This is a quick
The
little.
and the ending, the ending.
So good.
Okay, the opening and the ending probably are the movie in terms of opening and ending. Oh my god, the ending was so good. It's like it starts to like the score starts to come back in. Jim Gordon's monologue, and it ends with that shot of Batman going through that like tunnel, and like boom, and then the score fully goes in, dude. Oh my god, I still remember seeing that and being like, "Fuck, that's it. I wanted more." And that movie was not that. It wasn't short at all. It was 152 minutes. So it's like what, two
Hour
hours and
two,
40
yeah.
minutes, 230. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so like at 2:30 ish.
yeah. So it wasn't a short movie by any means,
No,
but still, oh my god,
so good.
I love that
No, I agree.
movie. Love
I
that movie.
100% agree. I put it too low. And this is another fun fact. This is also a test in a way because we'll see if she texts me about this. But my girlfriend Emily, when we first started, I don't even think we were dating at this point yet. But I came to her house to watch a movie, and the next time I came over, she said I could choose which movie. The first movie we watched together, that was my choice, was Batman Dark Knight. So that's a test. We'll see if when this episode comes out, she texts me about it or not. We'll see if she watches all the videos. But that was the very first movie. That was my choice that we watched together because of how much I love this movie. It's so good.
It is, which is why it was shocking to me that you had it
10,
at
10 was too low. 10 was too low, I'll be
yeah.
honest. All right, well, it kind of gave away. We know what your number one is, so we'll let you go next with your number one.
How do you know what my number
It's
one
Infinity
is?
War.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Damn it! Yeah, it is Infinity War. I mean, and for all the same reasons. Thanos, greatest villain of all time.
Again, a great
Um,
opening and ending.
yeah, great open ending action. Oh my god, it felt like the culmination of everything. Enough said. It felt like biggest payoff of all time.
Yeah,
I
agreed. Agreed.
payoff. Payoff. That is my number one.
Fair.
Enough said.
Fair. Very fair. Now, my number one, as I said, 2019 had a lot of gems, I thought. Another movie from, or 2019, sorry, from 2019, my bad. Anytime anybody asks me my favorite movie since I've seen this, I have said it. Because I love this movie, everything about it. Queen and Slim is my number one movie of all time.
Wow.
I love this movie. This is the first movie ever that I went out and bought a copy of on Blu-ray as soon as I saw it was out because I had to have it. I I think it's original. I thought it was just fitting for everything going on. I think the directing was amazing, the acting was amazing, storyline, cinematography, just I think Queen and Slim is the best movie of all time. Every time I watch it, I love it. I think it has it has a lot of everything. You can easily watch this movie and laugh at times, and it's definitely going to make you feel stuff. It's just, I love Queen and Slim so much. I love this movie. There's
Wow.
not a whole lot more I can say.
I mean, I was there with you, bud. Both me and Josh. I remember we were like thinking like, all right, let's just
We just wanted to
pick
go see
something
a
to
movie.
watch. Yeah. And we just picked this one. We're like, all right, we'll see how it is. Hopefully, it's not trash. It's now your number one. Wow,
Yeah, as soon as it
interesting.
ended, I was like, that movie was amazing. And you and Josh were both like, oh, it was okay, it was whatever. I was like, dude, that movie was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely like a good movie. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm shocked that you had it that high.
Dude, everything about this movie to me is so good. The storyline, the acting, it's just I don't know. There's something about this movie. If it comes on, I'm watching that thing no matter what. I love it.
Interesting, interesting. Wow. Okay then. Wow. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, that kind of wraps everything up then. If you just want a quick rundown from 10 to 1, real fast, and we'll kind of wrap everything up.
So my mistake. Batman Dark Knight number 10, way too low. So Batman Dark Knight, Southpaw, Infinity War, Wolf of Wall Street, Grown Ups, Straight Outta Compton, Uncut Gems, 21 Jump Street, Kingsman Secret Service, Queen and Slim.
Okay. And then mine would be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Superbad, Kingsman: The Secret Service, Rogue One, Logan, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Mad Max Fury Road, Spider-Man 2, Dark Knight, and Infinity War. So those are our top 10s. Obviously, like we said at the beginning, just because it's on our top 10 doesn't mean that it's like the top 10 best movies of all time. Like,
Right, we're not
in
talking
terms of story and
cinematography.
yeah, no, not
Obviously, if we did that 1 through 10, or pretty much 1 through like 8 or 9, would just be the Fast and Furious franchise. If we're doing based on storyline, plot, visuals, cinematography, acting, directing,
yeah.
just a range of every single emotion, just everything. Obviously, Fast and Furious franchise, followed by probably like Hobbs and Shaw, would pretty much make up the top 10. We all know. But
Oh God, what has that franchise become?
was it
Anyways,
really anything?
hey,
Was it
hey,
really
hey,
anything?
Fast Five. I still
You're
stand
right.
to this day. Fast Five is a really good movie.
No, I agree. I agree. If we did like a top 20, Fast Five might make an appearance.
Oh yeah, it for
It
sure
would be a
makes it.
late teen. It would be a late teen.
Yeah, yeah, but it'll still be there for
It would
me
be there.
for sure.
Family, 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 family.
All right, so that wraps up this episode of Marvel Media Podcast. So it's kind of fun for us to go into kind of our thoughts on certain things, our favorite movies. Leave a like, subscribe, obviously comment down below if you guys if there's any movies we said that you either forgot about, want to watch now, have seen and think we're idiots. Let us know. Be sure to follow us on other social medias, as we have TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, which we're trying to be a little bit more active on. And of course, subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.